Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to fix a wobbly ceiling fan. This is very common with a lot of these cheap fans, so sometimes they will wobble and oftentimes they'll make a creaking noise and they get louder over time, and this could probably, ruin the mounting or get the fan loose over time. So here, I'm going to fix the fan right here. I'm going to show you guys my ways to fix a wobbly ceiling fan. And this is basically by my idea, not anyone else's. I just figured this out. So yeah, it doesn't really matter when it comes to these you know, the way the blades are, even though this one's drooping. This doesn't really matter as long as the precision of the blade is basically intact. Here's what I mean. Let me turn off this fan. As you can see right here, we got, the fan stopped. And sometimes this can be out of alignment. The thing can be out of alignment. So what you do here is that you have to take off the blade. And sometimes you may have to take off 2 or 3 blades, right? And switch them. And as you do that, that should make it wobble less, but it shouldn't really, completely stop the wobble at all. And for that to happen, you gotta get like a ceiling fan balancing kit, which I did have, which did come with this fan. It's just over time it gets like, loose and all that bullshit. So yeah, it gets old and it comes off the fan over time. So yeah, that's what happened with this fan. The fan honestly wobbles because either you run it too much, it gets loose over time, or you mess around with it like I do. So here, I'm going to take off the blades. And honestly, over time, since I've been making wobbly ceiling fan videos, the screw irons do get, kind of stripped. So instead of using the Phillips screwdriver, I'm using this Robinson screw because this fits on a bit more better. And honestly, it strips it less. So use a Robinson screwdriver, get it in between there, and just loosen these blades. Once you got this blade off right here, as you can see, now you want to eyeball it, and you want to take this side off right here. Alright, now once you got this blade off right here, you may want to do this with it, switch it around, and attach it from there. So, this thing right here, let me take it off. Right here, see this thing right here? This right here can also cause your fan to wobble a little bit if this is not inserted, because this right here prevents the motor from vibrating on this blade, making it very, very noisy, which does happen with a lot of these spinner motors, like the 153 millimeter motors, tend to vibrate a lot because of the extra load that you put on these fans. So that's why they come up with these little grommet things right here that you put on the blade. And this usually helps it by reducing the noise and all that crap. But over time, the motor can heat this up, and the adhesive that actually, basically gets stuck around this, blade bracket here can basically weaken over time, and it will eventually come off when you try to balance or try to replace the fan altogether. So keep in mind, this also helps with the pre-attached screws right here, because as you do this, I know this is not the case, but as you do this right here, it drills itself downwards, making it easier for you to install the fan with the screws without dropping them, which is also a pretty good feature. Just like this, as you can see, this also prevents it. Make sure that the screws are aligned. This is typically not aligned, because that also impacts the way the fan wobbles. Fans can be off balance for a variety of reasons, and if you can try so much ways to balance it, but a lot of these cheap fans are kind of hard to balance. It's probably because of the alignment of these screws right here. So that can actually happen. If they are perfectly aligned, then this can probably solve the wobbling issues. So I had a lot of these fans that wobble over time. I'm a cheap, buyer. Buy a lot of these cheap fans over the past, and I usually have these problems quite often with these things, and it's often because of these, the position of the screws. Like if it's like right there, that is not good and causes the fan to basically be a little bit less pitched or more pitched. This also, affects the speed and the pitch of the blades, causing it to wobble. So yeah. Okay, so once you switch the blades around and also check to make sure the screws are aligned and all that crap, now you can probably turn it on. But before you do anything first, hold on. Gotta get this. You gotta make sure from up here that the mounting system that attaches the down rod is tight. Can't be swaying around, and the bracket is literally like not, or sorry, this down rod is not moving, but the whole assembly is. If that happens, that could cause the fan to wobble, and also it can be a little bit dangerous because if you don't have this pin right here or anything like that, this thing can literally fall off the ceiling, and that'll be a bad day. Could injure somebody, and the person responsible of installing the ceiling fan could face some serious, trouble, or even a charge, because that could be attempted murder. So yeah, make sure users are tight. All right, drop this little cover here. Now this should be free. This you shouldn't really care about this. This is free to move anyways. So yeah, all you gotta do now is to turn on the power or just pull the pull chain from the fan, and it should stop wobbling. Alright guys, as you can see, there's a little bit of a shakeage, but that also improved the fan, and it's not really making any noises or wobbling at all now, like terribly. So yeah, that's all you should do to make this fan balanced. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out.